All right, Daniel the Adjuster here. I am doing a very interesting video today. I actually happened to have some time off and my brakes were starting to make some noise. Well, the last thing I want to do is take it into a brake shop and pay $500 or $600 to do the brakes. So this is one of those things like I was talking about with your maintenance that you do on your slow days. I'm going to do my brakes myself. Just going to take the tires off and get this thing back with new brake pads. Went over to AutoZone, picked up the parts, and I'm ready to go. So let's get this car put back together with some new brakes. Stay tuned. Okay, we got the caliper removed. There's our brake pad right down in here, nice and thin. The back one actually is really thin, but yeah, we're making progress. Okay, next step. We can press the calipers back to where they're supposed to be using this big old C-clamp. See the C-clamp? Gotta have one of those to do your brakes. You can press it back and you put your new pads on. Make sure you get all the clips on. Everything that has to go back on there has to be put back on perfectly. They come with all the new clips, so no excuses for doing it wrong. All right, next step. Okay, next important step is to put this grease down here on all these parts. So if you can see, there's a part there, part there, part there, and then also on the calipers over here and here. And that's just this grease here. Sorry, brake lubricant. The reason why you put that on is because wherever it's touching metal to metal, meaning this caliper edge here is actually pushing against this brake pad. And then the inside caliper, that part is pushing on the backside metal. That can cause noise on your brakes when you push them, so you want to make sure you get that grease on there. Okay, we've got the caliper put back straight on, screwed in super tight. Make sure all your fittings, it looks like that broke. Oh well, it's a little rubber gasket that goes over top of where you input the grease. But anyways, that's all good. Now we put the tire back on. Okay, on to the second one. Got the caliper off. Look at those brake pads, they are so thin. Oh my goodness, look at that, barely anything left on the brake pads. So it definitely was time to get those gone. And guys, again, the reason why this is so important, do your maintenance while things are slow before the season. The last thing you want to do is be on a catastrophe and have to swap out your brakes because your brakes are messing up. So always get your stuff, your maintenance done before the storm hits. Now, the downside to anytime you work in these types of mechanical situations is it is hot. You sweat like a pig and woo, I'm sweating. It's hard work, but hey, you save a little bit of money, it's worth it. And you learn a trade and hey, you'll be able to do it forever. Even if the mechanics go out of business or we get into a crazy inflation boom where things are about 6 times the price they should be, you'll be able to do it. So let's keep going. So I wanted to show you guys the difference in pads. Okay, so this is the worn out pad, this one right here. See how super thin that is, almost totally gone. And this is the replacement pad. Look how fat that is. I mean, huge difference. And I tell you, it's important because you start getting down to this small little pad area, and that's gonna start scratching this sensor right here. This sensor is what tells it scratches your rotor basically to let you know your pads are getting too thin. And so that's a safety feature. It's real important. And anyways, lots of big pad there. Buy the extra nice ones. These are a little bit more expensive. AutoZone. I never buy the cheap stuff. I buy the next level up. They last a little bit longer. All right, got the second tire on. And now moving to the back. So sometimes when you do these brakes, you run into problems. One of the things is that you can't get a bolt undone. So down here on the back side, this one here at the bottom, which is, there's only 2 of them there and there. I can't get this one loose. I've tried everything, even tried a big bar, brake bar, can't get it loose. So here's an option. Basically I took this one out. I was thinking about swiveling this down. The only thing I had was that this brake line was actually connected. So a simple way to do that is I just undid this little clamp, gave myself a little more freedom on that brake line, and then I was able to tip this down and pivot it on that bolt down at the bottom rather than taking it out. So instead of breaking your back trying to get the bolt out, just figure out ways to get around it. And now I can still compress this caliper, still get all my brake pads out and adjust those, and no problem at all. Okay, all put back together. No problem with not being able to get that bolt in the back. Just tighten this one back up. Put back my bracket bolt here that holds on the brake line, and then we'll put the tire back on. Yeah, one more thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. Good time when you're taking your brakes off to do those is to check out your tire wear. It's always good to kind of check to see how much tire tread you got left on your front and back tires. I try and rotate as much as possible on those tires, but I'm looking a little thin. Definitely got a little less wear on there than I thought, or a little more wear on there than I thought. And so probably before the end of the year, I'll be replacing these tires, even though they're brand new this year. I probably got 40,000 miles on them now. And yes, I could run those down, you know, a lot more. But here's the thing you got to remember, guys, there's nothing worse than being stuck on the side of the road with a flat tire. You know, tires are, you know, $700-800 for 4 tires. Saves a massive amount of headache if you're stuck on the side of the road. So I always swap out tires a lot sooner than they are needed. Okay, on our last tire, getting started. Okay, got the 4th one done. As you notice, well, you probably don't notice this, but you will notice if you do it yourself, things will go a lot faster, and the 4th one will be just like zoom, boom, boom. You just get it done so fast. So that's what's cool about the repetition of doing the same thing over and over again. Well, guys, I am done. Yeah, it was a long process, but hey, let's see, 11:55. I started about 2 hours ago, so yeah, it takes some time. But think about it, I saved myself about $500. Well, maybe not quite that. I paid about $120 for the brake pads for this vehicle. I bought the upper grade ones, so that would have been more, or I got them for about $80 if I bought the cheap ones, but then you end up having to change your brakes more often. So a last quote was about $550 to do the brakes. So I saved myself about $400. So guys, this is the way to go. Do your maintenance yourself. You don't know how to do it, watch my videos. Or just YouTube a video of your own vehicle. There's tons out there. And it can teach you how to do it, and you can be smart and save money, and you'll be ready for the hurricane season. So last step before you get in there and start driving, you got to pump the brakes. You got to just pump them, pump them, pump them. The reason being is that you've compressed those calipers. Now your fluid is not there. The calipers are not touching the pads. You need to get the pressure built back up again. So what I do is put it in a gear, put my foot on the brake, pump, 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 and then just when I go into gear, just go really slow. Don't drive any more than like 1 mile an hour, and you will get those brakes pressurized again. So thanks for joining me, Daniel the Adjuster, on my day off doing home maintenance, or not home maintenance, car maintenance. See you on the next one, guys. Bye-bye.